Hello friends, you're watching India Today Tech, and in this video I'm going to compare the Vivo V9 with the Redmi Note 5 Pro. Vivo V9 is the latest smartphone from Vivo that comes with a very iPhone-like design. That is, it has a notch at the top and aims to give you a very good screen to body ratio, nearly 90%. But does that make it a better phone or a phone that you should spend more for? In comparison, the Redmi Note 5 Pro also comes with a thin bezel design and has quite good screen to body ratio. But of course it's not as good as the Vivo V9. You'll be spending about 9,000 rupees extra on the V9 to get that design. Extra because most of the other hardware specs are very similar. Let's take a look. For the performance hardware under the hood, the Redmi Note 5 Pro packs a Snapdragon 636, while the Vivo V9 comes with a Snapdragon 626 chip. Both have 4GB of RAM and 64GB of onboard storage, which is expandable via microSD card. The difference between the Snapdragon 636 and the 626 is that the former comes with a Cryo CPU, which is more advanced and has better power and thermal efficiency, while the 626 has an older Cortex A53 design. Other advantages of 636 include a faster X12 LTE modem, aptX support, and quick charge 4, but the Redmi Note 5 Pro doesn't employ all these three advantages as it lacks the required hardware. Coming to the display, the Note 5 Pro has a 6-inch panel, while the Vivo V9 comes with a 6.3-inch display. Both have Full HD Plus resolution and they are IPS panels. The Note 5 Pro has a Corning Gorilla Glass on top, while the Vivo V9 makes do with a regular glass. The Note 5 Pro is heavier at 180 grams as it packs a 4000 mAh battery and has a metal build, while the Vivo V9 is a slightly smaller device weighing 150 grams and has a 3260 mAh battery. Also, the phone is built out of plastic. As for the cameras on the phone, both have a dual camera setup at the back. The Redmi Note 5 Pro has a 12 megapixel plus 5 megapixel sensor combination, while the Vivo V9 has a 16 and 5 megapixel combination that can record 4K videos, while the Note 5 Pro can only do 1080p. At front, the Note 5 Pro has a 20 megapixel camera, while the Vivo V9 has a 24 megapixel shooter. So if you talk about the sheer specs you get for your price, the Redmi Note 5 Pro obviously is a better value for money proposition on paper. But now let's take a look at the design of these two phones and find out how good is the Vivo V9 compared to the Note 5 Pro. The Vivo V9 is a stunning phone to look at. It does look like a flat copy of the Apple phone, but the fact that Vivo has managed to deliver the same design at about 1/4 the price demands attention. It manages to make the Note 5 Pro look pedestrian, to say the least, despite the fact that the Note 5 Pro also comes with the so-called bezel-less design. V9 is also lighter and smaller, has a rounded back and curved corners which makes it fit perfectly in the hands. Compared to the thick and boxy design of the 5 Pro, the V9 is certainly a comfortable phone to use. But a big advantage to the 5 Pro's design is its build quality. It is built like a tank, solid and tough. The frame and back is made out of metal and give it a more premium in-hand feel, which is quite surprising for the more expensive Vivo V9 that is made out of plastic and feels cheap. Comfortable in the hands, but yes, cheap. Both phones use the old micro USB port, so there is no fast charging on either of them. Though it is supported by their respective chipsets, they lack the required hardware. Both have speakers placed at the bottom and card slots placed at the left. Vivo V9 has a dedicated slot for microSD card, while the Redmi Note 5 Pro has a hybrid SIM2 slot. Both phones have same display specs wise, but in real life they do look different. The V9 has a slight reddish tint to it, while the Note 5 Pro looks neutral. So the colors seem to look accurate on the Note 5 Pro, especially while you are browsing the internet. But V9 appears to have better contrast and videos look sharper on it. Not to mention its bezel-less design adds cherry on the top. But this can be done only with stored videos. YouTube videos cannot be stretched to fill the screen like it can be done on the Redmi Note 5 Pro. The display on the V9 is slightly better in terms of contrast and brightness, and had to be because the V9 is all about the display, is it not? But the Redmi Note 5 Pro is also not a bad display by any means. It gets you more accurate colors, and though it's not as sharp, it tries to maintain a very good brightness level outdoors. Coming to the software part, both phones run their own skin on top of the Android OS, and both of them require a serious decluttering. There are a lot of third-party apps and features on these phones that make using them a nightmare for non-geeks. While both of the interfaces are inspired by the iOS in some way or the other, Xiaomi has some elements of its own that resemble the stock Android, but Vivo takes it to another level. The toggles like Wi-Fi and brightness bar are put on a command center like menu that you summon from the bottom. The settings menu is laid out in a similar fashion, and the icons all resemble that of the iPhone. Due to the app launch animations, the app opening speed on the Vivo V9 is also slower than the Note 5 Pro. Apps launch much quicker on the Xiaomi phone in comparison, though the difference is not much in most cases. Vivo V9 did manage to load some heavy apps like Amazon a tad faster, but then again the difference wasn't much, which is expected since both phones have very similar performance hardware under the hood. Both Vivo V9 and the Note 5 Pro have a very cluttered software, which make them quite a difficult phone to use at times. But at 13,999, the Note 5 Pro has its excuse with the price. At 22,990, you'd surely want a better software that you get on phones like the Moto Z2 Play. Specs wise, the rear camera of the Vivo V9 appears to be better than the Note 5 Pro, but for most part, they both click very similar photos, which is strange as the price difference between the two is quite high. In some cases, the Note 5 Pro photos turned out to be slightly better. They appear to be sharper and object outlines are a tad better in some cases. In portrait mode especially, the Note 5 Pro definitely performs better. Not only it captures better background blur, but the facial outlines are sharper and the skin tones are better rendered for the most part. More surprisingly, same is true for the front camera as well. Selfies taken from the Note 5 Pro have lesser noise or grains when you zoom in. Overall, they have better skin tones, color production, and details compared to selfies taken from the 24 megapixel camera on the Vivo V9. In video department though, Vivo takes the lead. It can record videos in 4K resolution, though the sample you see is recorded in full HD to match that of the Note 5 Pro. And you will notice that the V9 records much more stable videos than the Note 5 Pro. Both phones don't have a built-in stabilization feature, but V9 videos appear as if they have been stabilized. They are quite smooth. At front, V9 footage appears to have washed out details of the face, while the Note 5 Pro keeps it in the undertone and the face is not properly visible. When facing direct light, the Vivo phone does a better job at keeping the face visible, while the Note 5 Pro doesn't adjust and darkens the whole frame. Both videos appear equally shaky. In low light photography, Vivo V9 has more grains and noise in its frame. It appears as if the photo has been overprocessed to make up for better details or better color production. In comparison, the Note 5 Pro photos appear more natural, have lesser noise and sharper object outlines. Vivo phones have always been all about the selfie. They have been called the selfie smartphones. But in comparison, we have found that the Note 5 Pro's front camera is slightly better, which is quite surprising, though V9 makes up for it with a better rear camera. So which of these two phones win the game? Redmi Note 5 Pro at its price point is a great smartphone and offers great value for money. But the Vivo V9 on the other hand tries to give you something more. It tries to give you an iPhone 10-like experience on an Android platform for much less. So if you want a stunning smartphone, stunning as the iPhone 10, and don't want to pay the world for it, get the Vivo V9. But if you don't care about the design that much, Redmi Note 5 Pro should be your first pick. Let us know in the comment section below which of these two phones would you select and why. Also, if you've liked this video, hit the thumbs up button and share it with your friends. Subscribe to our channel to get latest videos on technology like this. Thank you for watching.